Preparing for WIL, Work Integrated Learning by Accessible Learning Services. Many academic programs at George Brown College offer a work-integrated learning experience. This is a wonderful way to apply new learning and master the skills employers are looking for in future job applicants. Transitioning into work-integrated learning experiences is stressful for most students. This presentation is geared to students with disabilities to help better prepare for a work-integrated learning experience. Hello and welcome to the Work Integrated Learning module, which will teach students with disabilities how to prepare for a successful work-integrated learning experience. It will take a few minutes to watch this video. You can stop and freeze it at any time. Enjoy! After watching this video, you will learn what is work-integrated learning, what are field placement accommodations, and how to ask for accommodations for work-integrated learning. What is work-integrated learning? Work-integrated learning provides students with an opportunity to combine theory, classroom learning, with a real-world work environment, deepening students' knowledge and enhancing work-related skills. Work-integrated learning can have different names depending on the program. It could be called clinical placement, practicum, field placement, co-op, externship, or internship, just to name a few. Work-integrated learning, duration, and locations. Academic programs determine the conditions for work-integrated learning experience, number of hours, outcomes to be met, how you apply, police checks, etc. These conditions are established to fulfill the training requirements needed to work in your chosen field. Point 1, it could go from 1 week to a whole semester long. Or point 2, also, it can take place in different geographical locations. It may be in Toronto or another country. Importance of work-integrated learning. Work-integrated learning experiences are much like a real job. You are expected to develop the hands-on skills to complete the daily tasks in a satisfactory manner. The people you meet during work-integrated learning experiences might become references for you, or sometimes are even in a position to hire you. It is important to become aware of your strengths to better promote yourself, and also any barrier that you may have and how to overcome it. How to prepare for work-integrated learning. If you have a disability, you need to consider these 5 key points, known as the 5 W's. 1. Who. 2. What. 3. When. 4. Where. And 5. Why. The first key point is the who, and the who is you. You need to consider if your disability will impact how you can do specific tasks required at your work-integrated learning placement. Therefore, you need to ask yourself the following question: does my disability cause some barriers that mean I have to do things a little differently? If the answer is yes, it means you likely will need extra support, which leads to the question, who else might need to know? If you need to disclose that your disability does cause some barriers at work, the best place to start is with your accessibility consultant. If you have not already, please register with Accessible Learning Services. What? The second key point is the what. It refers to what to discuss with your consultant. Discuss whether you need accommodations for your field experience. What are accommodations? Accommodations are modifications or adjustments that are made so you can meet the necessary or essential placement requirements to be successful. Accommodations are person-specific and require a team effort to make sure successful. To get the best support for you, speak with your accessibility consultant. What? Accommodations can be divided into 2 groups: formal accommodations and informal accommodations or strategies. Formal accommodations are supplied by the employer to allow the student to complete the required tasks of the job. Some examples of formal accommodations are use of voice recognition device, access to ASL interpreter, physical equal access to building and work areas. Informal accommodations are strategies students can do on their own to compensate for any barriers that may result from their disability. You may need to discuss these strategies with your placement so they are aware. Some examples of informal accommodations are use of LifeScribe pen, visual demonstrations, to-do list app. Remember, students with a disability have the legal right to be accommodated so they can perform the specific tasks of the job. If you have academic accommodations, it is very important to know that these accommodations do not apply or transfer to your work integrated learning experience. This is why you need to speak with your accessibility consultant to help determine what accommodations you may need. When? When do I start the process to figure out if I need accommodations in placement? It is best to start exploring if you need accommodations well before your field experience starts. If you and your consultant decide you need accommodations, you should start the process 2 months before the field experience begins. You and your consultant will put an accommodation form together, highlighting your skills and abilities, functional limitations, what strategies you might already have, and what formal accommodations you may require. When? And what about disclosure? The biggest question on students' mind is disclosure. Legislation states that you do not have to disclose. You don't need to disclose your diagnosis, but you do need to disclose you have a disability that requires an accommodation. When? Accommodation form. To help with the disclosure process, meet your consultant to consider developing a placement accommodation form. Where? The where refers to where you start the process. First, you will meet with your consultant at your campus and discuss whether you need accommodation or not. Second, sometimes it is a good idea to meet with your field coordinator at your campus before the field experience begins to know what to expect. The field coordinator may help to find a placement that best supports your needs so you have a better chance at success. All workplaces have different environments and cultures. Finding the right place for you might mean less formal accommodations. Why? The why refers to the question, why should I do all this? Here are some important answers to remember. It is not easy asking for help, and we know that. If you go prepared into your work integrated learning experience, the chances are you will be more successful in completing the work that is expected of you. As a student, this is your time to apply and develop the skills you learned in the classroom into a real workplace. After placement is completed, sit down with your consultant and discuss what worked or did not work for you in terms of accommodations. Just think, the more you know about yourself now, the better prepared you will be after you graduate. In conclusion, to make the most out of your work-integrated field experience, keep the following 5 points in mind. 1. Make sure the essential placement work requirements are clear so you can identify your strengths and needs. 2. If you need accommodations based on a documented disability, you do have the legal right to ask. 3. Begin the process early, at least 2 months in advance, to be prepared. It is hard to arrange accommodations last minute. 4. Remember to review with your accessibility consultant after your field experience what worked and did not work. 5. It may seem scary, but don't worry. There are lots of people at the college that can help you through this process. We hope this presentation will contribute to the success of your work-integrated learning experience. Please register with Accessible Learning Services at your campus location listed here to provide you with an avenue to answer any further questions that you may have. If you need extra support or need to disclose that your disability does cause some barriers at work, the best place to start is with your accessibility consultant. Contact information. Our email, letstalk@georgebrown.ca. Our locations, St. James Campus, 200 King Street East, room 582C, phone number 416-415-5000, extension 2107. Casa Campus, 160 Kendall Avenue, room C317, phone number 416-415-5000, extension 4585. Waterfront Campus, 51 Dockside Drive, room 225, phone number 416-415-5000, extension 5370. Ryerson Campus, 99 Gerrard Street East, room SHE 597, phone number 416-415-5000, extension 2621. Credits: Project Coordinator David Hurlbutt, Accessible Learning Services. Designed by Lisbia Romero, Instructional Designer. Developed by Ricardo Loza, Instructional Developer. Narration by Alana Azik, that's me, GBC Acting for Media graduate.